Welcome to the deactivation ceremony of USS Arkansas. It's a great pleasure to have all of you here with us today. Glad the weather has improved since what we rehearsed in yesterday. It's going to be a great occasion. And we're going to call this a celebration. It is, in a way, a celebration of what the ship has accomplished and a celebration of the service of this crew, past and present. As you read in your booklet, the deactivation ceremony is not actually the end of the ship. A lot of us will be here for quite a while, but it is the beginning, the end. This is our chance to get together for one last round of parties, to make the ship look good, to show it off, to slap each other on the back, tell a few sea stories, see old shipmates, and get sentimental for a brief period before things get industrial. Today, as you know, we also mark the end of the Virginia class of nuclear-powered cruisers. I feel a special attachment to the whole class of ships, since they spanned my career in the Navy. I remember being a junior officer on the Long Beach. My predecessor, a lieutenant named Dwight Mims, executed his orders and went off to a new construction crew for USS Virginia. Many other surface nukes, others in the Navy went off to get this new class of ships going. And like many of you in the audience and here on the podium with me today, could rattle off the names of many, many friends, officers, chiefs, and crew who built these ships and went to sea in them, who worked hard, sacrificed much, serving their nation aboard Virginia, Texas, Mississippi, and Arkansas. So let me begin our celebration today by recognizing some of those who are with us. I've kept the precedence list slightly longer. I apologize, but I do want to start out by, first of all, recognizing the families and the friends of the crew of Arkansas for coming today. Certainly, I want to thank the Arkansas Plank Owners for coming to share with us in this ceremony, and if you would help me give them a round of applause. I hope to you to a reception later on, well into it, telling lots of stories. So, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Judy Weiss, wife of Admiral Don Weiss, my boss, who was in the middle of his T-80 assignment in Saudi Arabia. And I'm also very pleased that the commander of Naval Base Seattle and Commandant Super Paco West, Admiral Bill Center, is here with us today. He certainly needs no introduction at all to this audience. And Admiral, I really appreciate your leadership here, for looking after this fine ship, and for your efforts in uniting the Navy here in the Pacific Northwest. A number of other good friends I'd like to mention briefly: Captain Gary Grow, Captain Ann Stetson, our Naval Station Commander, in a way, who works after us, Captain Tom Danner, former CEO of Rainier, Captain Craig Triggs, former CEO of Long Beach. The Bremerton and Big Harbor Navy Leagues, Mr. Lloyd Townley, who's with us from the Monterey Navy League, and Mr. Anthony Butterfield, also the honorary crew member, who's been with us twice. Captain Andy Sabal, and the former Arkansas XO, CEO of Cromwell, and now has the greatest job in the Navy as Director Officer on board Nectar. And I was going to recognize my Aunt Lillian, but unfortunately she couldn't be here with us today. I do want to say wish her well, and wish she could be here, and just to recognize my family and the people at Bremerton plant. Actually, they're Morgans, but I won't go into that. After the chaplain's remarks, you can see why we love evening prayer underway. And some may think it was risky of me to give him the microphone for the first remarks in today's ceremony. Not that he has a reputation for being long-winded, but we do have a number of speakers to get in here today, and an obligation to get you all home in time to watch the World Series. Lieutenant Carroll has been a superb command chaplain, a true friend of the crew, and I didn't really ask him to talk about me so much in his remarks. But I'm especially pleased that we have the first Arkansas chaplain here with us today, Chaplain Captain David Atwater. He's come all the way from Pensacola, Florida, where he's the force chaplain to Vice Admiral Pat Tracy at the Chief Naval Education Center, who will make the concluding remarks today. Also, I want to introduce Barbara Height, who is on the podium, and with her family came all the way out for this ceremony. It's nice having her and nice having you with us also. Barbara Ann Hyatt's been a major influence in the life of the ship. Through her design, this was a competition that you won, to design the ship's crest, that you can see in a variety of locations. And as I was thinking this morning, it's everywhere in my house, the ship's seal. Also, on the podium today is Captain Harry Selfridge, commanding officer of Arkansas from 1987 to 1990. He's former Chief of Staff at Commander Naval Surface Forces Pacific and was himself the Naval Service Steward for Long Beach. It does mean a lot to me to have Captain Selfridge here today. We go back a couple of years, and I remember very clearly the days when I was a student at the prototypes in Idaho at A1W. Some of you will know a lot about that. And Lieutenant Selfridge was my leading engineering officer of the watch. He had a superb reputation for his technical knowledge and for his leadership in a very demanding environment. Very tough, running two entirely different nuclear reactors and trying to educate the likes of me. Captain Dennis Reed was Arkansas's first commanding officer. I won't repeat what it says in his biography, which you have in your program, but it really has been a pleasure for me to have him here and to get the opportunity to know him. His presence with us today helps us set the right context and appreciate the history of this great ship.
Thank you. Admiral Senator, Captain Douglas, yes. Other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, officers and men of Arkansas. I should really say shipmates of Arkansas. For although we were separated by serving together about 17 years, we have a bond of having represented the Navy and the great state of Arkansas on the Navy's finest nuclear cruiser. I'm also especially glad to see several of my Arkansas plank owner shipmates here today. It's a delight to be with you, even for a few hours. Today is a bittersweet day for me. Bitter because I just like seeing such a capable ship taken out of service. When we commissioned Arkansas 17 years ago today, I remarked that the crew was setting a tone and reputation for a ship that would be part of our Navy well into the 21st century. We did set that tone and a reputation, but the USS Arkansas will be part of naval history, not the 21st century. I'd like to go back to October 18, 1980, a sunny, enjoyable day, much like today is. The weather was lousy the day before, and the weather was lousy the day after. But the day of the ceremony, it was just as bright and gorgeous as today. That was 3,000 miles away, 3,000 miles when Arkansas was going to service in Norfolk, Virginia. Actually, for me, the real Arkansas, we have trouble with this land. The men who manned her started in mid-1979 when I reported to the pre-commissioning unit in a not very new building at Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Shipyard. There was already a nucleus of 20 or 30 men hard at work to establish a foundation for all the Arkansas crews involved. Bringing a ship into service is hard work, but I believe it is one of the most satisfying jobs a Navy person can have. An opportunity to set a tone and establish standards for years to come. From all I have heard in the intervening years, Arkansas has operated by standards, and I see evidence of that by the numerous excellence awards with several hash marks on display along the bridge. Speaking of setting the tone, if you'll permit me a short sea story. I remember vividly my first call from Admiral Rickover during the pre-commission period. I always marveled at the fact that a four-star admiral would reach down to the organization and tutor as only he could do a ship captain. So as you know the story, a cartoon had been found by one of his inspectors in the propulsion spaces. It had been quickly removed, but he called to remind me that we operated our plants in a formal fashion, and little things set the tone. We tried to do those little things on the pre-commission crew that would set a tone, a professional tone for years to come. I believe we did that. And I today carry the lessons he taught me into my present job, for it's applicable no matter where you go. I and several of the crew were privileged during that period to visit the great state of Arkansas. We were able to talk to everyone from Governor Clinton to school children. Statewide hospitality endorses all all over the helmet. A contest to design the ship's crest yields numerous entries, and a vote by the crew picked a wonderful design by Barbara Ann Hyde. It combined symbols of the Navy and the state of Arkansas. Arkansas went well beyond silver and southern hospitality. Pictures were donated by artists from Arkansas and hung throughout the ship. They gave everyone a sense of home and a connection with the state. Two prints given to me for my personal use are in my office today and allow me to extol the virtues of Arkansas, the state and ship. October 18, 1980 was the year end. All of our hard work had come to a successful conclusion. Betty Bumpers, our ship sponsor, was there, as was her husband, Senator Dale Bumpers, our speaker. Governor Bill Clinton was there. And there were numerous dignitaries on the platform, Navy and civilian. What some do not remember, since he was not listed on the program, was the commander, now Senator John McCain, was also there as Senator Bumpers escort. Governor Clinton seemed distracted that day. I'm sure he had Navy on his mind, since he was in the middle of a hotly contested contest for re-election, and he eventually lost to Frank White, the 1956 graduate of the Naval Academy. While we focus on dignitaries, the real star of the ship's mission is the crew. And the pride of the 10 Navy sons was evident that day. Two crewmen come to mind. The Navy son, John Mercer, who carried the flag aboard. I've never seen a prouder or more excited person. And another crewman, Brian Whiting, who arranged for us to have a musical group up with people at the commissions. They did a magnificent job that day, as did the entire crew throughout my whole tour. I strongly believe that one of the reasons people join the Navy is to see the world. I know it was part of my reason for enlisting at the age of 17. We started seeing the world right after commission. Our combat systems trial, normally done in the Norfolk, Virginia area, was conducted off Bermuda, a first. I kept asking why we could not go to Bermuda. After the lame excuse of no one has ever done it before, people ran out of reasons very quickly. We had a very successful combat system trial and a good time in Bermuda. We went on to do our shakedown on the way to Rio de Janeiro with numerous stops, including 6 countries in 1 year. We mixed successful trials and training with a chance to enjoy ourselves. And I noted in some earlier conversations with Captain Peaches that Arkansas has continued that tradition of fun trips, mixing with hard work. I plan on continuing what I would call a good tradition of seeing and doing the best the Navy has to offer. Final contract trials conducted by Admiral Wilson were well done. He stated, and I quote, "The ship was very clean, exceptionally well prepared for trials with a high caliber crew on board." Unquote. And I might remark that I toured the ship yesterday, and it's still exceptionally well clean. When I left Arkansas, I worked for Admiral Wilson for 2 years, and letters like that were very rare. I know. I helped write several of the stories. The hardest time we had, both professionally and personally, was the first ever shock test of a nuclear-powered surface ship. We worked long and hard to make Arkansas as combat-ready as we could, but shock testing is destructive. Not only does it test to see if equipment can withstand the force of underwater shock, it hurts the crew's morale. We had worked so diligently to make sure that everything operated as designed. It was personally painful as the shock was felt throughout the ship. We did restore the ship and go on being fully combat ready, making full power, scoring in the high 90s on weapons fired engine. The reports we wrote on shock testing were hard-hitting and straightforward, and I believe they helped change how shock testing was done. While I was on the insert board, I participated in shock testing of other class ships and had fixed several of our common equipment and the way the Navy went about conducting shock tests. We did help improve the Navy. I have a photograph of Arkansas taken while we were off Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It shows her at the end of the rainbow, a sign of promise and blessing. For all of you that have ever served on Arkansas, or are serving right now, I would like to end my remarks with the same blessing I used when I was relieved. May God bless and keep each of you. May His countenance shine upon you and give you peace now and always. Thank you.